I don't mind going after people. I will just block you. I will remove you. Try somebody who cares. People that complain about stuff are the people that will never be my customers in the first. Normally do not have the money to spend to buy a single thing on golden.com. They just want to be bitter. People ask me what I do for a living. I tell them I sell happiness.
What a scam. What a tragedy for the Pokemon hobby as a whole. We have so many goofballs on stage doing shady things. I don't know what to say. Yeah, there's people out there with better illustrators. There it is. There's your PSA 8.
PSA 8.
This is a PSA 8. That's all it is. What did you make of last night's activities?
Well, I was just sad. We were both disappointed. And as we posted on X yesterday, it's the saddest state of affairs. This is Pokemon's lowest point. Yeah. And if you're someone who is in it with monetary gain only, absolutely, it's good for you. The thing that we would enjoy up until 2019 with family and friends, that's gone. I'm just sad.
That's pretty much it. I think it's been a pretty sad couple of weeks for Pokemon as a whole. Like intentionally targeting celebrities. They needed these certain celebrities to promote Pokemon's anniversary. People who have never posted about Pokemon, who have never showed any interest. This shows you how far these execs at Pokemon, like this is what they think they should do. Pay a bunch of celebrities, pay them all at the same time, post on Instagram at the same time. The most expensive ad slot in history to put more eyeballs on Pokemon. That just goes beyond the point of like you don't know your audience, you don't care. So they could have done so many cool things. I know this is like a sidetrack, but this is a pump and dump. This is the same as any other crypto token that people pump. How can you verify that this is what actually happened? The whole thing from top to bottom is shady. The golden guy.
People ask me what I do for a living. I tell them I sell happiness.
If you look at the whole thing from start to finish, the comments have always been off whenever they posted anything on this on social media.
Or they block you.
I will just block you. I will remove you. Try somebody who cares.
They very clearly tried to control the conversation as much as possible.
The whole thing is just laughable. It's so obvious that the whole thing was an act, and there's nothing real or genuine about it. Even the people who are on stage, I know they're going to bring this kid back up. The kid went and he counted the packs. Why is he counting the packs? So then they brought him back up later on in the show, and then he pulls the Charizard. Logan and the Golden Grandpa are sitting behind and they're like chatting to each other, and they're like, oh ho ho. It's obvious to anyone with like any common sense that they were acting. And the kid wasn't the pack winner for that. So then Golden or Logan Paul keeps that Charizard. If you actually watched the live stream and had the comments on the live chat, so many people were saying resealed.
Yep.
You know, just with the amount of things that were pulled. You had the Hong Kong guy who had he bought 16 packs. And then you had the guy who eventually won it, who happened to be sitting in the audience. So he was sitting in the audience the whole time, just on his phone, just hanging out there, $16 million, no sweat bidding, just hanging out there. The whole thing is a joke.
I'm on a planetary treasure hunt right now, and I'm on a quest to buy a T-Rex dinosaur fossil.
What?
At the Declaration of Independence.
Oh, this is crazy.
And
Oh, that is so epic.
That's what's so ridiculous about it. Yeah, there's people who may have silly money, but he was up there promoting his world treasure hunt. I want a T-Rex bone. I want the article of declaration or whatever it's called. He's like, yeah, I might buy it off you, Ken. And then this illustrator is the start of it. Like, oh, I'm so intrigued by this treasure hunt, and then go to whatever website it was. Who cares? Why would anyone want to follow that dude who shows up, like hugs Logan Paul a bunch of times, who clearly knew him? So he's just hanging out there bidding on his phone. $16 million, $50 million, you know, the gong is going off. Like, it's just, I actually know his father because he's been in he's spoken a lot in the crypto scene, and
the alleged winning bidder, his family doesn't necessarily have the best background.
The son promoting his treasure hunt of getting these collectibles. Not only that, the Polymarket stuff that's coming out is so sus that people were betting on. They knew exactly where this would land, this bid, and these accounts did not do anything else on Polymarket. They didn't bet on this sport, they didn't bet on this. No, they only wanted to bet on this, and they couldn't do it too crazy because then they would know. But I hear someone pocketed $300,000 just from Polymarket, so they knew. The whole thing smells like just a complete rug pull. You know, 16 million for this card. It's the whole thing's ridiculous, and it's very sad. It doesn't do anything for true collectors. And
you have to realize Pokemon, the whole premise of Pokemon originally was created by Satoshi Tajiri, and it was based on his experiences as a child collecting bugs in the forest. This very sweet, pure, innocent thing that my own children have done. And we've gone from that, catching bugs, trying to catch all the different species you can, to this thing where people are fighting, there are people lying up and down. It's not what it used to be. We were in Yokohama over the weekend, and I went to the Yokohama Pokemon Center, and in the building they have a Surugaya. We've talked about them before. They're one of these shops that has a bad reputation in Japan. And my family and I were walking through there. My wife mentioned this, and my relatives mentioned this as well. People in here, they don't seem to be happy. It seems that they didn't seem to have any happiness in their lives. I felt that with Pokemon. The Illustrator didn't start that. It's certainly not going to finish it, but it absolutely has pushed that all the more. And so it's sad. It went from being this very pure, innocent thing to being this thing where you're fighting people everywhere you go to try to get some packs. Well, I go to a convenience store, people suspect me that I have some ulterior motive in mind. A lot of people online will try to justify this. Oh, you're just poor, you don't have the money.
People that complain about stuff are the people that will never be my customers in the first. Normally do not have the money to spend to buy a single thing on Golden.com. They just want to be bitter.
And I've seen a lot of people who are speculators or flippers, or they are in this with investment in mind. They'll say the people are complaining just don't have the means to be able to do the same thing we are. That's not true for a lot of people. Again, I want to be able to go in and enjoy some packs. I don't want to go into a Pokemon Center and have the staff. One thing that staff will do now, they'll actually, at the counter, they'll sometimes ask you, do you actually like Pokemon? They'll just, I've been asked that several times in Japanese.
Wow.
Because they're trying to ascertain who is here trying to flip things. I'm tired of being asked those things and suspected. It's because Pokemon is in this dark place, and the Pokemon company is just as bad. From top to bottom, it's no good. But the thing you have to realize is, as collectors and as fans, we also have the ability to say, I'm not going to involve myself with that auction house or with that celebrity. They're off playing in their sandbox. They're not in Pokemon. They're something different. Or some professional athletes. I think it was Stephen Curry, I believe.
Oh yeah.
In the past has bought some cards. These aren't people who are Pokemon fans. They don't know anything about Pokemon. They maybe played a game when they were young, probably didn't even complete it. And when you have a lot of money, you just play with it. And ultimately, you got to realize these aren't happy people. Money. No. If money is who you serve, if that's what you worship, you're always going to be searching for something. It doesn't end. This is not a $60 million card. People are buying this because they want the clout, they want the hype. We've talked about this before with the Mona Lisa. The Mona Lisa wasn't a valuable painting for the longest time until it was stolen, and then there's a story around it. And it's the same thing. This card just has this story, and everyone wants to be in on the story.
It has a terrible story, this card specifically. And that's why I thought like a month or so ago, I was like, this is not going to go ahead because of the story and because of people who are owed money. It makes me think that on the Guinness World Records and stuff, like, it's just kind of representative there. How do they verify that this money hit a bank account? Can we see like a transaction receipt? You know what? I think, but I don't think the Pokemon company has any actual like real guts about them. They could have put a stop to this. I'd print this card into oblivion.
Pokemon looks at this. This is hype for them. This is them just raising the price of booster packs. They want this to happen. They're not saying, how dare you make $16 million off of a card of ours that would have been free to the winner. They're over the moon about this because this is headlights on them. Pokemon wants this. They don't care what it looks like. If, for them, they're so big on their side, overlooking all the bad stuff. Hey, this is good news, because your average person doesn't know about the bad things that happen.
Even PSA should make a statement on how this turned into a 10.
PSA does the same thing with their social media. They lock their comments, and they only let the good things get in. This Golden Auction House, Pokemon, they're all in the same camp. They're so big. There's so much demand. They can just get away with it until there's a major backlash, until there's something that's so bad. Which makes me think
like social media is, obviously it's controlled, we both know that, but it's so controlled. Those in charge of like the social media companies should let it all rip. You should not be able to block comments unless they're really against the law. The fact that you can down thumb something on YouTube, but you can uptick and get the number, ridiculous. Because you could go onto that Logan Paul stream right now and you could downvote it, and it'd be interesting to see the real number. There's surely like thousands of Pokemon fans who hated that. The fact that they control all of that and control the comments, and I know it's at the end of the day, yeah, a graded card is better, but I don't know if I want to give this company any money, PSA. Like, why would I? They're actually complicit in this for going for that price. I'm not saying there's going to be a paper trail or anything one day, but
PSA is absolutely making concessions for them. They are absolutely doing it. It's not a 10.
No.
It is not.
yeah.
I think at this point, there are people who devote all of their time on social media to looking into these things. I'm looking forward to what comes out. The liquid marketplace thing, I don't think we've heard the end of that. Hopefully there's a class action at some point. For me, I can look at those things and be sad, and it's good to be aware of what's going on in the market, but it doesn't affect my collecting. I'm still enjoying opening packs, completing sets, going for promos and rare obscurities. Thanks to you starting getting into the sealed things. But on my end, maybe you have some closing thoughts, but on my end, again, I look at this, I feel sad because going back to the woods, catching bugs, something I still enjoy with my kids. Now you're going into shops, you feel dirty, you feel that there are waves of unhappy people who are there. But at the end of the day, I get some packs, I get enough for my family, we go home and open them. My son wants to make a Dragonite deck. There are a couple decks he wants to make. I want to play with him. In spite of the people who are trying to profit off of it, and then the company itself, we're going to have some fun with it.
Yeah, that's right. I guess we'll leave it there for the Illustrator. I think let the dust settle, try and move on from it. Yeah, focus on the positive things.
Go get some sleep, recharge, and get ready for the next one.
People ask me what I do for a living. I tell them I sell happiness. See ya.
You're my trainer.